Let's watch it again.
Do what you gotta do. No. Come on. Just let it be.
Hello my friends, it's Attorney Session. Today we're going to go over a really short video, but we're also going to look at the differences between assault and battery and a cop's duty to act when another cop is threatening the use of force or assaulting an already handcuffed civilian. This video is from Law and Crime Network and it's entitled Bodycam Shows Florida Police Sergeant Grabbing Female Officer by the Throat. You may have seen this video which came out about 10 months ago, but it just ran across my feed and I thought, man, this would be an excellent opportunity for me to react to this and to go over a few things that are really important that people may want to know. As always, thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like and comment and also subscribe to the page and check out the video.
No, he doesn't want in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. All right, I'm getting in. Get your feet in. Hey, look at me. Look at me.
Okay, he's in the car.
You want to play games? You play with the wrong mother.
What you gotta do, man? You gonna mace me, mace me.
Look at me, look. You want to play games? You want to get disrespectful? I will remove your soul from your body.
Okay, so this cop walks onto the scene and it already seems as if this handcuffed man is already in the police car, so it seems as if they have the situation handled. Let me first preface this by saying I try to always be impartial when going over cop interactions. I don't ever want to misinform anyone or be led by emotions. In law, we're taught to put our emotions aside and evaluate each situation by the facts and the circumstances of that situation against the law. I've had commenters call me a bootlicker, and that's fine. I've had commenters support and praise some of the things I've said. That's fine as well. Everyone is entitled to their own respectful opinion. It's my aim not to misinform anyone and just give people the facts weighed against the circumstances and the law. As it relates to cops, cops are supposed to de-escalate a situation when they arrive on a scene. Cops aren't supposed to make the situation worse. Also, when other cops on the scene watch their colleagues do things that they aren't supposed to do, like use excessive force or the threat of excessive force, things like that, they have a duty to act. They have a duty to respond and not let that cop do that or to stop that cop from doing that. We saw this happen with the George Floyd situation where a cop was allowed to essentially take a man's life through the use of excessive force, and none of the other cops around him acted to stop him from doing it. I know this is only a 2-minute video and we're not seeing the entire picture, but from what it looks like, the man is already in the car. The sergeant comes from out of nowhere, pushes the other cops out of the way, and proceeds to telling him, you want to play games? You want to play games? I'll remove your soul from your body. The hell, this ain't Mortal Kombat. This is a detained, arrested civilian already in the back of a police car, and a cop showed up on the scene. In fact, he made the situation worse. I'm always in support of our boys in blue. There are a lot of good cops out there, but this is a bad cop who took it upon himself to make the situation worse. Like I said, I know this is only a 2-minute video, but we're gonna watch the rest, and the next part is what really stunned me.
Do what you gotta do.
Don't touch me again. Get the car.
That's that sergeant's body cam angle, and you can see him grabbing the neck and the person of another officer who apparently tried to pull him off of the civilian he was threatening. Let's watch from another angle, which they're going to show right now.
We clear?
He goes back.
And I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
Stop pulling like I'm running somewhere. I'm right here. Look, stop pulling the handcuffs on my wrist.
It doesn't seem like the man is trying to resist. Yeah, he's complaining about the cuffs being tight on his wrist, but a lot of people complain about that. They sometimes do make them pretty tight. I don't know, but yeah, I've heard that complaint several times, especially in the world of criminal law.
God, you don't listen. You're not stronger than me, man. I'm letting you know that.
right, let's go. We're gonna take a seat.
Watch your head getting into the car.
Miss, can you stop pulling the cuffs?
Just get in the car and you'll be fine.
Get in the car. Matthew, put in the cup. Oh my wrist. I can't get in the car. Somebody say it, please.
So just get in the car. All right, just get in the car.
Can y'all just tell her to stop?
Hey, get in the car.
Get in the car.
Just get in the car.
All right, I'm getting in. Get your feet in. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You want to play games? Play with the wrong mother. You gonna mace me? Mace me. You want to play games? So I don't get disrespectful with my
Do what you gotta do.
No. Just let it be.
I don't understand that.
You clear?
Yes, sir.
So that was very disturbing. From her angle, she sees him getting into the car. She doesn't know what he's about to do, but all she knows and hears is that he's threatening an already detained and handcuffed man. When she pulls him away from him, she is justifiably acting on her duty to act and respond to this man using the threat of excessive force on an already detained and arrested man. So she's justified in her actions. But what's not justified is the sergeant turning around, choking her, and saying, "Don't you touch me." Let's watch it again.
Do what you gotta do.
No. Just let it be.
I don't understand that.
You clear?
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
The bottom line is all of these cops had a duty to act and not let the sergeant act in that manner. He escalated the situation when he was supposed to de-escalate the situation. Then he assaulted and battered a female cop, his subordinate, for acting on her duty to stop him. I was happy to find out that this sergeant was later charged with felony battery of a law enforcement officer, felony tampering with evidence, misdemeanor assault on a law enforcement officer, and misdemeanor assault on a civilian. All charges he should have been charged with. He was placed on administrative leave with pay. I don't know about the pay situation, but hey, whatever. Before we go, I'll quickly explain the difference between assault and battery, which are oftentimes charged together. Assault is usually defined as an intentional act that puts another individual in apprehension of an immediate harm. Apprehension doesn't necessarily mean that the victim is in fear, but rather it creates in the victim an immediate expectation that they will be harmed. Pretty much they can see it coming. Doesn't mean they're scared, but they know and can see it's coming. Assault criminalizes the threat of harm itself, not the actual act of harming someone. Battery, on the other hand, is pretty much the completion of an assault. It's defined as the intentional, offensive, or harmful contact of another person that is done without his or her consent. The contact can be harmful or offensive, meaning it doesn't always have to harm or injure someone. Usually when it's an offensive contact, it's viewed within the lens of what's reasonable to a normal person. For instance, if you're trying to get off a train and someone's blocking the doorway, it's reasonable to politely tap them on the shoulder and say, "Hey, would you mind moving for me, please?" What's unreasonable given that same situation is if someone's blocking the doorway and you push their arm and push them out of the way so you can walk through the door. That would be unreasonable. Like I said before, the two crimes are often charged together, which is why this sergeant was charged with both assaulting and battering this female officer. As he turned around, she could see it coming, and he completed the act when he grabbed her neck and shoved her back, which is the battery. As for the civilian, he was charged with assaulting the civilian because he threatened harm to the man when he was cuffed. He went into the car and got into his face. All the civilian knew, the cop was going to hit him or remove his soul from his body, as he so eloquently put it. The sergeant created an apprehension in the man that he was going to hurt him. I'm not always on the cop side. Sometimes I am on the cop side, but I'm always on the side of what's right versus what's wrong. And the cop in this situation was wrong. He was horrible. He gives cops everywhere a bad name. And that's sad because I know there's a lot of good cops working to restore the image of policing in communities and working to restore the relationship between the communities and cops. which is what needs to happen present day. Cops should not be the enemies of society. Cops should be the protectors of societies and the enforcement of our laws. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe and leave your comments in the chat. I would love to interact with you guys. Until next time, take it easy, my friends.